Good evening, race fans, and welcome more live tonight. Las Vegas Speedway here, and I tell you what, I always say what happens in Vegas, well, it normally stays in Vegas here because tonight going to be a very, very good race here amongst all these drivers of the Sim500 Transervice Cup. Man, I tell you, we came off Daytona last week. Wow, kicking off the season, and that was a wild race. Glenn Campbell pulling it off there at the end. But Patrick, this is a different ball game. A lot of guys say their season starts tonight.
Absolutely. This is when you're really going to see guys start standing out from your super speedway racing, where it's really kind of a level playing field.
Well, there you go. Well, I tell you what, looks like qualifying is upon us, folks. Get ready, get set, settle in. Get all your refreshments going. We're going to step away. Got something special here tonight for you, but we're going to step away for a minute. Play the national anthem for you. And, hey, we're in America. Why not? Here we go. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, right there, awesome rendition there of the national anthem. Gotta give a shout out to Dirty Grass Souls, Kevin Dedman, for allowing us to use that. Tell you what, these guys are gridding up here. Let's go ahead and see if we can't go and get our grid in order here tonight, because again, we're at Las Vegas here. The man on pole, Justin Fuller, puts it out front. Anthony DeBarro there starts at second. Brian Macklin up to third. Steve Goschalk to fourth. Timothy Johnson there in fifth. Steve Ritter up to sixth. Adam Gillian to seventh. Ray Edson to eighth. Daniel Falkenham to ninth. And Tyler Stevens up to 10th. Patrick, that's a heavy-hitting crowd right there starting us off here tonight. Man, a lot of these guys last week had some trouble at Daytona. But, I mentioned it before. A lot of these guys say their season starts tonight.
Yeah, and you're looking at a bunch of former champions and guys that are always in championship hunts whenever we get down to the end of the season. So, Justin Fuller, though, great lap time, pulling it out of 31.063 to grab that pole.
Oh, no doubt about it. So these guys are getting set here to gear it up. We're getting set to go green flag racing here tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in as, like I said, Las Vegas Speedway for the Transervice Cup. Race 2 of the season here. And man, I tell you, Las Vegas is one of these tracks where, well, we were talking before the race, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of one of these places where it's going to be tough to pass. Guys are going to have to, I think we're going to see some pit strategies play in on this race. I think we're going to see a lot of things, man, just kind of happen here and here. So, I don't know, sit back and enjoy, but these restarts can be chaotic.
Yeah, they're going to be bunched up here for the first probably 15 to 20 laps before they really start getting spread out, and it's going to be all about taking care of that right front tonight.
Yeah, no doubt, and I tell you, it's going to be a fast track. It always is here. Again, the restarts, you're going to have to, they can be wild because you have to get everything you can on these restarts when the tires are good, because after a while they get spread out. Everybody gets, kind of, where they are, and just going to be kind of tough to pass. I mean, you said you raced a little bit this week here in the NIS style stuff, and you said it was kind of tough to pass, but when we've seen it, this place really doesn't bring a lot of cautions. I'm gonna say that, and I hope I don't jinx it.
Yeah, with the banking in the corners and the way the cars are set up with the high downforce, it's really easy to just chuck it into the corner on either that first lane or even the second lane, and just hold it wide open all the way through the corner. You might have to lift a little bit to start it with, but that's it.
No doubt about it. Well, pace car's pulling him out of turn 4, drops off on pit road. Here we go. Man up front, Justin Fuller and Anthony DeBarro, which is the defending series champion here. They lead them off into turn 1 as the green flag goes. You already see them. They can go 3 wide at this track.
What a start by Anthony DeBarro. He really got out there on Fuller, and he's going to hang right with him through turns 1 and 2. Oh, we got some contact out back.
Man, I tell you what, like we just said, 3 wide already in the back. They could do it. They're 4 wide back there, too. This track is wide enough to get it done. These, like I said, these restarts will be chaotic. And for the moment, they're going to stay side by side. Anthony up front, going to try to get it, but Justin Fuller, boy, I call him Mr. Excitement here. That man knows one speed, wide open. And I thought he was retired.
Well, I'm not sure about the retirement, but he certainly looks like he's still got the speed to keep going here.
Oh, he is definitely bad, fast, giving Anthony everything he's got up front. Brian Macklin behind him. Timothy Johnson's there. They're 2x2x2. Like I said, folks, batten down the hatches. These starts and restarts are going to be wild, but after a while, they'll get these things fanned out.
Insert the bottom lane. Kind of get a little bit lower into the corner. You got to be a little bit harder on the wheel, turning it down through there. Wear out that right front a little bit more the longer you stay on the bottom like that.
Said it right there. Going to wear this thing out if you don't watch out here. Still side by side racing going up front, and it's still a duel for the lead. Fuller will not give up, neither will DeBarro. He's the champ here in the Sim500. That's pulling that thing off last season. That's a good stretch up front. They almost made contact.
Yeah, I think you're still a couple laps away from seeing these guys start to really single file out. You see them in the back. Looks like they're getting a little bit more organized. Sitting down to ride with these guys up front, not giving an inch.
No, they're not. Up front, really, really good battle amongst all these guys. Man, right now, Anthony and Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller missed last week's race. Anthony, not the race that he wanted, got tied up in a little bit of incident in the back, but tonight, like I said, they wanting to pull this thing off, and Fuller's just wanting to show, hey, look, if I am going to be retired, I'm coming out here and I can still show you guys that I can race.
Doing an excellent job hanging onto that lead right now. Really rolling that bottom right on the white line. Looking good so far.
No doubt about it. Up front, still side-by-side lock, door-to-door behind him, Brian Macklin. Adam Gillian, watch out for that guy. Didn't call his name too much last week, missed the race there, but this week, I mean, he was a top dog in the series last year, but just some misfortune in the actual chase knocked him out. He did make it to the Final Four, but just, was nowhere there at the end. But he dominated the regular season.
Yeah, and I'm going to fall back a little bit here. Checking out the 36, Brendan Kohler, highest running rookie of the race right now, running in 11th spot.
Actually, Tyler Stevens.
Oh, did I miss him?
Yep, Tyler Stevens sitting in 18th right now.
Well, I got
he is
Brendan
one of our rookies. Yep. And remember, we talked a lot about Tyler Stevens last week. Came into Daytona, had a fast car, got tied up in a little incident there. But remember, this guy, I mean, he showed it down there at Speed Weeks in Daytona that he's no joke when it comes in here as a rookie.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talked about last week, too, is there's a lot of different points battles going on. You got, that Rookie of the Year battle going on right now. Really good chance to separate yourself from the rest of these guys with a good run today.
And we can't let out, too, there's another rookie there, actually, in 11th place spot, Brendan. He's up there, so we got to look. And folks, if you can identify a lot of these rookies, you see their front windshield has a yellow banner, and I'm showing off right here the 36 of Brendan. Battling right there side by side with Nelson Rivera. You can see the yellow banner on the top side of it. That would indicate that he is a rookie here. Pretty much, the whole top 10. Got a lot of veterans up here in this top 10. But, yeah, Brendan's a top running rookie. Tyler Stevens would be there. But you're right. Hey, we can't pull out John Boris. He came into Speed Weeks. He had a relatively fast machine. We'll see what he can do here at Las Vegas tonight.
Still side by side for the lead out front. Gonna go back. Josh Parker started this race 19th, up to 9th already. He's been making some moves through the field. Been quiet about it.
And a lot of these guys will. He's right now, though, he's got one of those. Looks like we were just talking about the rookie behind him. Brendan's going to try to look to the inside of him, see if he can't take that spot away. But you're right, Josh Parker, another fast machine there. He's got Steve Ritter around him. Brendan's right there along beside of him. They're going door to door, but I'm still impressed by the leaders up here also. You just mentioned it. Anthony and Justin, how long can they go side by side like that? How long will those tires hold up?
Well, I can't imagine they're going to hold up for too much longer. Around here, you really start feeling the tire wear anywhere from 15 to 20 laps into the run. So it's going to be about who took care of it a little bit better, who's going to get the edge.
And my next question there would be, you got some heavy hitters behind them, Daniel Falkingham, Adam Gillian right there, just kind of riding and seeing what they're doing. As you already see now, they'll go single file. Justin Fuller looks like he's going to get the top end. As I say that, never mind. Anthony said, hey, get out the way. Got my silver bullet machine coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing that can happen for the guys behind them is that these two stay side by side for as long as they have, and they continue to fight it out. These guys behind can just roll right through the corner nice and easy. They don't have to worry about it.
And like we were talking about, they're going to wear those tires out up front, and eventually those guys behind them will just drive right on by them as the run goes on here. Man, right now, good battle up front, though still, I mean, they're swapping that position. Anthony went down low, got it. Justin did the crossover move. He's back down under. So it is a good battle, and I am impressed by the two up there. They are maintaining their speed and holding off the likes of, Adam back there and Daniel and the rest of the field. And, holding on, because normally we see two guys battling like that already fall off the pace.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes Vegas a little bit of a different track with the bankings, and with this new aero package, these guys can really just lay it down and maintain speed all the way through the corners as we get another crossover.
Wow, boy, I call him the silver bullet out there, Anthony DeBarro. He is bad fast here and giving Justin Fuller all he can handle. Adam Gillian just sitting back there relaxed, looking. Daniel Falkenham, Brian Macklin, Tim Johnson there along with it. Got a good battle going on, like we said back here. Steve Ritter and Brendan, the top-ranking rookie here in the field, has cracked the top 10. He's up to 9th right there, so not doing bad. Remember, we've got a Rookie of the Year title going to happen, and we'll talk about that as the year goes on. So right now, Brendan's trying to throw his name in the hat.
Yeah, for sure, as it looks like we're going to get a battle here for 3rd place. Adam Gilliland not content to sit behind these guys anymore. He's going to go for it underneath Anthony DeBarro for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Adam right there. As you see now, Anthony's falling off the pace right behind Justin Fuller. He's still up high. Here comes Adam down to the inside. Those two know each other quite well. Well, let's see if sitting back there riding has helped out, or if Anthony's tires have just gave up the ghost up top so far. Man, it's a good battle right now out front.
Yeah, Adam, I think, has got the faster car, but it's so hard to get a pass complete on this track. You get a run through the corner, but then you just kind of stall out going down the straightaway. They get that side draft on you, and you just nowhere to go. Absolutely.
Inside here, they're still, Justin Fuller has not pulled away from the field up front. They're able to stay right there with him, but you're right, making that pass. As you can see, Adam's just not been able to complete it. Going to have to fall back in line behind it. I think at this point, about 18 laps in, at this point you're seeing the tires start to neutralize, but here comes Anthony, man, back to the inside, trying to battle it out with Justin. He just will not give up, man, on taking that lead away.
Now, a little bit of a missed corner there by Fuller as he kind of stayed it in the 2nd lane. Didn't get all the way down to the white like he wanted to, which gave a little bit of air on the nose of Anthony's car and let him get that run up to him.
Trey Edson back here racing it out. He's got Timothy Johnson, Brian Macklin there in front of him, as those two guys are looking pretty good. Trey Edson there with Aftermath Motorsports. And he sees Tim and him up our battling, so he's just going to try to hang on to the backside of them. Trey's usually pretty fast here now. A little close up here, Trey's car. Yeah, it's got a new sponsor this season. And if I'm not mistaken, new manufacturer. I'd like to get up with some of these, get up with some of these guys, man, up here, and maybe something we can get up with, because some of these guys have changed manufacturers. Toyota. I don't remember Trey being in a Toyota last year.
No, well, when you switch around teams and stuff like that, a lot of teams have a specific car they want you to run and kind of get a more uniform look down.
Well, he's got the sponsor of the title sponsor here of the series, Transervice Cup there, the Transervice Logistics. So nice looking paint job he's got out there. So definitely got a good sponsor on board with that car. Trey Edson coming in, definitely a fast machine there. Brian Macklin falls off the pace a little bit, back to 8th spot. Steve Ritter's there tonight. Brendan's hanging on to the top 10. Nelson Rivera's on the outside looking in. Kyle Tarasca, not mistaken, that's, that's what we can say. That was another rookie, but no, it's not. Actually, Kyle coming in here very well. Nick Cohan's right there behind them. So that's the problem here, Patrick. There's so many heavy hitter names out here. Only one can win, though.
Absolutely. This is the Elite Series for Sim500. Obviously, they run almost every other day of the week, but this is where, names are made. This is where all the champions go. This is where the fast guys go.
If you go back here at about 27th spot, well, they're back there duking it out 2 by 2. Got to go back out to Shane Ewing, Doug Roth, Chad Coleman, Bobby Wetzel, Norman Pelletier. I said that right? Pelletier, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'd go with Pelletier.
Pelletier, all right, sounds good. Glenn Campbell back there. I know he's another Transervice sponsor car back there running. And we're going further back. Joey Catina's there. John Morris, like I said, Richard Bauer. I mean, we just got a who's who of names just running that. You know, I mean, throughout this whole entire field, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and you really have to get back there before you get to the side-by-side guys in the back of the pack. The front, I don't know, I'd say 15 to 20 cars, all in a single file here. Now you start thinking about when you're going to pit. You can go maybe 55 to 60 laps on a run here.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and it's tires. I mean, that's something we're going to talk about here. I know fuel probably will be the biggest thing, but how's the tire wear going to be at this track?
Well, it depends on how hard you're leaning on that right front. The rest of them are going to look good, but you're going to wear out that right front, especially if you know, run out this tank dry. But I think these guys are going to be looking at least a 2-stop race, so I'd look them to break it into kind of a third here.
All right, I mean, that's a good insight there. We've got Chad Coleman. He went around Doug Roth. Oh, Doug Roth out there comes Keen here. You know the car that we're missing? Oh, no, never mind. Found it. I have my favorite car. You know what it is.
Oh yeah, the Twinkie Mobile. He's back there.
Kevin Brown up the 16th spot. I always got to show the Twinkie Mobile off. For some reason, just that paint job, I don't know, it kind of talks to me. You know, it's a Twinkie on wheels.
Always making you hungry on a late Monday night.
No doubt about it. A pretty good night up the 16th spot, but you're right. All the guys up front right now kind of went single file. You actually got to go back here to about 9th and 10th place spot. Brendan there with Nelson Rivera, Brian Macklin. They're duking it out a little bit. I think what we're seeing now here, Patrick, is guys who are better at saving the tires and on the long run are the ones that's going to be able to make passes. And you see already Anthony Navarro. I think what's happening to that car, almost Josh Parker close. But I think what you're seeing with Anthony is all that racing might have burnt them tires up.
Yeah, he got really tight coming off too. Had to really get out of it to avoid getting into the wall, and it cost him a lot of spots.
You know, normally I talk, and Justin Fuller leading this race. He up front, he was really hard. And, you know, I've always said Justin Fuller, one speed, wide open. He just knows how to go. A lot of times gets him in trouble. Surprised he's been able to maintain that speed, but right now, boy, Anthony just would not give up on the inside. He is still trying to push that car, but I think those tires are starting to just give up the ghost on him.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to see is he might be one of the first people down pit road. I would expect maybe lap 40 to 45 you'll see these guys if they want to break it into thirds here. That would certainly get them to lap 80 or 90 and certainly get them all the way to the end.
Absolutely, and right now he's just falling back, and he's in the clutches there. Brian Macklin. Brian's trying to see if he can't just get around him. And they go door to door for the moment, though.
One of the worst things is when you get back in that dirty air, these cars, they just drive so different, you know, when you're behind 4 or 5 cars versus behind one or even out front.
Well, right there, Brian Macklin makes the pass on him. Clean going around him. Up the spot there. Anthony's going to fall back behind him for the moment. That's going to put Brendan right there along with Nelson Rivera. We'll see if they're able to run him down and pass him here.
Well, it's certainly no fun being in that spot, especially where you may have been a little bit harsh on that right front tire. You take all the air off the nose, and now the thing just will not turn.
No, it won't, as here we're getting set to, like you said, I think we're getting set up for some green flag runs. You know, pit stops here. We got Nick Silver. He's up to the 11th place spot. We got Nick Cohan right there behind him. Nicholas Cohan, whichever you want to call it. I saw it as Nick Cohan. Yeah. If anybody's ever called him Cohan.
Very good. I'll have to ask him on Wednesday night. One of the things not
what's that? Go ahead.
One of the things not talked about a lot. It's very tricky to get on this pit road. It sneaks up on you fast. Slow pit road speed. Really tough to get down there, get down to speed, and not loop the car around.
You know, we saw it last night. Had a Las Vegas race. It was Xfinity cars though, but you know, you're right. What I saw some of the guys having a little trouble getting down in there. Some of them had some trouble actually, you know, getting in the pit boxes and whatnot. I always call that kind of like a mental style mistake. But either way, you're right. You got to come off turn 4. You're carrying a lot of speed. But you got to woe that machine all the way down. And when the tires get worn, they get awful thick back there.
Well, and especially as they touched on it during the actual Cup Series race, these pit boxes are concrete. So they don't stop quite as good on the concrete as they would up on the asphalt like the cars are out on right now.
Now, since we're in a virtual world, you brought that up. Does it translate very well from the real world?
I think so. I seem to notice a bit of a difference, you know, with changing pavement types. When you get on a track like Dover or something like that, it's much more slick, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. We'll just have to watch, and probably that was some of the issues last night. So guys, when they went on the brakes, you can see them just kind of slide ever so slightly right through their boxes and so forth. So let's see when some pit stops happen here. I got a feeling, I'm like you, a lot of these guys are going to start having some green flag stops here pretty soon. Right now, Anthony Navarro falling back into the clutches of Brendan. You got Nelson Rivera back there battling out Nicholas Cohan. Nick Silver and company back there. Good battle going on. That's around about the 10th on back spot. Everybody else kind of single file out front, and Justin Fuller. Well, after that hard battle with Anthony earlier on, he's been able to hold that top spot down.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want to stay out there. Keep all that clean air on the nose of that car. It's going to keep turning just like he needs it to, and hopefully keep him out in front. But Adam Gilliland closing a little bit through the tri-oval here.
See Nelson Rivera shoot on past Brendan right there. Takes the spot away. He's going to work on Anthony. Adam, like you said, trying to close in. Adam was the man who dominated last season. He won the most races in the regular season, was pretty much the regular season champ, you might as well say on that. I mean, just pure dominated. Got into the chase. He started out okay. He did make it to the final 4. Almost got eliminated in one of them. He had a very bad run, but was able to, clutch and get in there to the final 4. But just at Homestead, had all kind of trouble. And it stemmed from different equipment that we don't talk much about this, but it is a good thing to talk about since we are in the virtual world. When he raced at Homestead, he was not in his normal rig. He wasn't in his normal setup. He was in a different area and somewhere and using a different one. And he said himself, it just doesn't feel right. And I guess you could translate that over to the real side of things, from iRacing to real racing or any sim for that matter. That's just like jumping from somebody else's car to another. It can be a whole different ball game and feel for you.
Absolutely, and just considering the vast number of options you have when it comes to wheels, whether they're belt-driven or gear-driven, force feedback, direct drive, pedals, or a load cell, it just on and on and on. Everything just feels so different to these guys.
And especially if you run something throughout the season, as long as these seasons are, we obviously run a full Cup Series, and you're used to one kind of setup. I mean, you hear real drivers say, they get into other cars or somebody else's cars, they don't perform as well, and they go, yeah, it's a whole different thing. Somebody might have their seating position way different. They like their car set up way different. Same thing like you just touched on there. So many different options in the STEM world. The number one, 2 biggest things I would say that would be the main options there. Direct drive as opposed to belt-driven style wheels, and then load cell as opposed to potentiometer style pedals. That right there is probably the 2 main difference. Force feedback does play into the equation, but hey, some guys don't even run that. But I'm going to say those 2 options right there alone are just like night and day different.
Absolutely, and we can't really argue too much about the benefits because, Ray Afala's won iRacing championships without any force feedback on a G29, I think. So, you know, but it's more of like a preference. It's a style. Which one do you like better? Which one gives you a better feel for the car?
Absolutely. I've talked to a lot of pro-style drivers that you were just mentioning right there, that run in the iRacing Pro Series. Some of them run on like a G27 and run on it for a long time. Some do have the high, expensive, direct drive style wheels. It's just personal preference and all. And, we could sit here and debate on that subject all night long. Which one's better, which one makes you faster, et cetera. A lot of guys say it's the immersive feeling, but either way, man, it was different there for Adam to jump in it. He mentioned it himself, just not the same. But pit stops, Thomas O'Leary's in, and it looks like lap 42. I think here in the next, maybe 5 or so laps, we should start seeing everybody come down.
Yeah, I can't imagine you'll see anybody. You might see a few guys out back run out the tanks on both trips, just maybe trying to catch a caution, be in a good position here, nothing to lose. But I think a lot of these guys up front, they'll come down a little bit earlier. They'll be down before lap 50, I think.
The biggest loser right now has got to be Anthony DeBarro. He is just constantly dropping way back in 11th place spot. That car is not up to the performance like it is. Kyle Tarasco on pit road, Randy Yoakum now, Mike Maltesi on pit road. So we're starting to see some guys in the back come on pit road. It'll be interesting to see when the leaders do. Justin Fuller and company, but right now Anthony DeBarro is struggling with that machine. It is not like it was at the first of this race. Justin's got it on rails, but man, Anthony right now, what are you seeing? I mean, the car does not look like it's sliding around or anything, but it's definitely falling off pace.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he got into the wall a little bit and had some damage, but all the fenders look straight on it. I just think he really overcooked that right front, and you're just really starting to see the effects of it now that he kind of fell back and is in dirty traffic.
And two, I gotta bring this up again. He's in Dizzy Motorsports. Last season, he was in a Camaro, which to me is not really much better than what he's in now, but I'll keep that one. Yeah, folks, I'm a little biased. I'm sorry.
And he comes.
Yeah, we got a lot of money. He's coming on pit road. Watch him. But I noticed he's in a Toyota, and that's what's bringing up what I was going to bring up. My point here was, can some of that be that he's starting out with a new manufacturer, first 2 races of the season? He's trying to fill this car out, not really familiar with it yet.
Excellent question. I can't say I'm too familiar with how it drives. The few times I've driven it, it's pretty similar to, I'm a Mustang guy, so feels the same to me. But in terms of the dash and that kind of stuff, I really feel like is the only difference.
Okay. And I've had the reason I bring that up is because I have had some guys when the Toyotas and all that came out, and even with the Mustang when it came out on here, a lot of guys that, rode, they talked about the difference between the Chevy and the Fords. Some of them said, even though it is a fixed setup, they do drive differently. Some of them might be a little bit tighter, going through turns. You have to approach the turns a little bit different from one to the other. And, some of them might be a little bit more, feel more stable, might feel a little more loose. Some guys, man, love, really, really looser style cars than they do tighter cars. And that's why I bring up that maybe could be a little bit of struggling factor here. Everybody's on pit road now, Justin Fuller and all, but I'm just trying to get grasp here because, Anthony DeBarro, obviously defending series champ, he knows how to get around here. He knows how to race. Can't take nothing away from his talent as a driver, but got to be something there that maybe he's just not yet feeling it in that car or how that car's set up.
No, it's certainly going to be something to look out for here as the season goes on. The other thing is, and we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, is the new tire model. This is a completely new tire versus what they raced on last year.
So, and that's a good point, too. We've only said a couple times, and obviously the K&N series on Wednesday night, that tire model's been around for a little bit, and, which that car is a whole different animal, and so forth and so on. But you're right, the new tire model here, and this here would be the first track that these guys come to that where I'm going to say the tires are the biggest issue. Daytona, tires really not that big of a thing. Not going to say, not important, but you don't really rely on changing a lot of tires, and you're kind of wide open a lot there. So this track here would be their first really test with the new tire model that iRacing has, obviously with the package, and then you compound that with, again, changing cars, changing, everything setup wise and whatnot. So very interesting. Got a lot of guys, I'm gonna say, new manufacturers this season, new sponsors and all. Something we'll talk about throughout the year as we're getting started. So race number 2. Again, to me, this race here kind of sets the tone for the season, so to speak.
Well, it's your 1.5 mile racetrack. We're going to go to a lot of racetracks like it throughout the year. So if you can be fast here, you're looking in good shape for the rest of the season.
For a guy like Anthony, and let me just go ahead and say it, because actually Justin Fuller, too, was another one. Him in a Toyota out there. Don't remember him being in one. I remember him being in the Chevrolet, if I'm not mistaken, last season. I could be wrong. Sometimes, my mind, it don't work like it used to be. But he seems to be okay so far. Now, obviously, Adam Gillian, he's still in the same, Camaro it is. So, really, when you stay in the same manufacturer, the biggest battle you're going to have is obviously the tire model here. So I got to go back to what we were just saying. Manufacturer, tire model, that's two things you got to deal with. You only had to deal with one. So, something to keep an eye on, and maybe, like I said, we'll get to talk throughout these drivers. I know you get to talk with more of them than I get to talk to because, well, you're racing on Wednesday nights there, Patrick, and maybe a couple other ones. So you get to mention, talk to them. And I know you like Disney Motorsports. I'm going to say Disney Motorsports is mostly Toyota.
Yeah, they're a big Toyota group here.
Well, I know last year they kind of were split up a little bit. Some of them, raced the Camaros, some raced the actual Toyotas. I guess they're trying, like you said, get more unified. But it'd be interesting to hear what guys like Anthony and them have to say about manufacturers and whatnot. But Justin Fuller right now has got Adam Gillian all over his back bumper. Daniel Falkingham, another machine, hanging on the third. You got to go behind him. Josh Parker, well, he's made some headway. He's up to 5th.
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham, guy you really can't count out towards the end of these races. Really quiet, not going to make a lot of big splashes. But, boy, you look at the end of the race, he's right there. He
is, hanging on to the 3rd place spot. God, I definitely am very impressed with the rookie here in the 36 there, Brendan John. Looking very good tonight. He's up to 6th place. He's been very clean. And got to look behind him at Kyle Taraska right there sitting in 9th. Brian Macklin 8th. Trey Edson another one. Anthony DeBarro, after doing that pit stop, he's been able to claw his way back up to 11th. He's riding behind his teammate there, Nick Cohan, who's sitting in the 10th place spot.
Yeah, going to be curious to see if they can kind of claw their way back up here to the front. Obviously, lost a lot of ground there. Everybody got on and off pit road really good. So, no real issues so far.
Looking at the gaps here between them, obviously the top 2 guys, they're nose to tail up there. Daniel not too far behind them. You go back to Josh Parker sitting in 4th. He's about 2.1 seconds back. But you go back there to where Anthony DeBarro is in 11th. He is 4.7 seconds back from the leader. They didn't lose a lot, but that is a lot of time to make up on this track, and especially with the lap times like they are. And let's get an idea of the lap times. I mean, I'm looking at them right now. Fuller ran a 31.125. Adam a little bit quicker with a 120. But I'm looking throughout the field here, and it's only within maybe 3-4 tenths throughout the entire field, maybe hundreds at that. So not a lot of guys making up a lot of ground.
No, it's really tough to make it up here again because you're just wide open for the most part. The biggest factor, I think, is you see Justin Fuller come up on lap cars. Lap traffic can certainly play a big role in killing your momentum off the corners.
Very fast track for a 1.5 mile here. They're running about 180 some mile an hour as you see them coming down across the start finish line. Heading off into turn 1 right now. Let's see if they actually drop down a little bit. They stay pretty steady.
Lap car doing an excellent job getting up out of the way here, the leaders, as they come flying by.
All right, well, right now those 3 drivers up front, and they're looking pretty good. As still watching back here, Nick Cohan, they are all like they're single file. You've got Brendan there along with him. That's a 4-car freight train right there for the moment.
Yeah, coming out front, they're really getting after it here.
Ooh, Nick thought about taking the 3 wide, thought better of it there. As it's like it's going to go on the inside. That actually looks like a lap car in between them. That in front of him.
Is Shane Ewing in the 32?
Is it? Well, Shane went there, and I think, Nick thought about taking it 3 wide. He thought better of it. Now Nick's going to go up underneath Brendan. Brendan actually falls back, lets those guys go. Anthony Navarro, though, is going to shoot to the outside. Shane actually hanging on pretty good there. A pretty good run there.
Yeah, coming up to the leaders, I mean, you can really see Shane Ewing, maybe about 10 lap pressure tires than our leaders here. And you see he's slowly pulling away from them.
Absolutely. Justin Fuller right now still holding on to the top spot with Adam Gillian right there in second. Daniel Falkenham third. Watching this battle, though, as Anthony made it around Shane. I know Mom's out there watching old Shane tonight. Got Nick Cohan right there behind him. Nick is actually trying to run in the tire tracks. Anthony looks like he's got a very good short run car. Maybe not the best, I'm going to say, at a track like this or at how this race is going. Now, obviously, we don't know how it's going to run towards the end. Sometimes, lack of a better word here, and maybe you'll get a chuckle out of this one, Patrick. Sometimes these guys kind of run out of talent.
I mean, I've been guilty of it for sure. It's one of those things where you just maybe lose focus for a little bit, or you do something uncharacteristic, and it happens to the best of us,
Oh, yeah.
We end up doing something silly and wipe out half the field.
Well, I say it like that. I know a lot of guys probably going to go back and listen. What's wrong with you, Joe? About talking about, no, I still, these drivers out here, some of the best of the best iRacing have to offer. We see it week in and week out. And I've always talked about the amount of cautions that they have here. I mean, they average maybe 2 to 3 in a race. That's throughout the whole entire season. So that means a lot of races do go caution-free, and some actually maybe only get 1 or 2. So it's a very, very well run, and the guys are very, patient and all. But I do see the occasional video out there every once in a while, and drivers are going to be drivers, and they'll talk amongst themselves, and I get a chuckle out of sometimes when I read them.
Yeah, we've been known to have it out with each other. I know I've been guilty of losing patience before and getting my chat muted, so it happens.
Absolutely, everybody does. I know when I race, man, you kind of get a little mad, but hey, that's just the racing mentality. Daniel Falkenham right now has ran down Adam Gillian. And he's like he's going to take that second place spot. I'm going to tell you what, I'm impressed with Justin Fuller. Justin right now, he's got the Yoda machine out front, looking very good and holding off the competition. Adam's not been able to climb back up on his back bumper, actually losing ground.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Fuller too. He's been great this race. I think he's led just about every single lap, with the exception of when he came down pit road. So certainly the car to beat today.
Daniel right now, he is all clawing on the back end there. Josh Parker, not been able to make the waves that he was before, but actually up to fourth. Pretty good tonight, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell you what, if we're going back here in the back, Jose Gonzalez, talked about him last week. And actually changed the paint up on the car. Same sponsor out there, like the paint he had last week. It was really dark. Kind of got white and red on there this week. But he's got the Ford Entertainment Group out there. New sponsor this season. Jose Gonzalez running in the 15th place spot back here. Not doing too bad.
Not at all, because it looks like Daniel Falkingham trying to get around Adam Gill in here for that second spot.
He's on the inside of him there. Falkingham's going to look like he's going to try to take it away from him. But remember, being on the inside doesn't always guarantee a pass.
No, it does not, but he's certainly going to go for it.
Yes, he is right there. Looks like a good battle for second. See if Daniel's going to be able to complete the pass. He's got a lap down car. No, drops down behind him. So, wow. Run amongst those guys. Tyler Overstreet back in 20th. Tyler Stevens, one of the rookies here, back at 21st. Let's see if he's able to get that thing glued back to the track and get it going back to the front here tonight. Kind of looking through the field back here in the back. Got some heavy hitter names back there. Steve Goschop in the back. Glenn Campbell. They got good old Gael back in the back. And Don Runkle back there. John Fowler. Fortunately, Thomas O'Leary looks like he's out of the race here tonight. Not bad. He's out there running. So everybody, 43 machines out here. That is a huge field, and that takes me back what I was saying a minute ago, Patrick. Let me get my words right here so don't really make anybody mad, but don't see many leagues out there that can put 43 drivers on a field, 71 laps into the race, caution free.
No, and I mean, you're talking about not a lot of room on this track. It's a mile and a half, but not very wide. Certainly, guys have been given a lot of give and take here tonight. As a league owner, definitely going to be proud of this result so far.
Oh, Joey Catina's got to be absolutely ecstatic and all. I mean, I know he's one when there is a caution that flies. He's like, man, come on, guys, we can do better than that. And tonight is showing. Now, Las Vegas, again, is one of these tracks where you just basically, if you're patient, you've got a lot of room, multi-grooves here to run. We've seen it all night long. So you've got a lot of give and take that can happen here. Again, the closer we get to the end, these guys are going to, amp up what they're going to try to do to get to the front. But you can only do so much here. We've mentioned it. At the field we've got right now, it looks like, do you think we might see somebody do a two-tire stop?
I think the guys that pitted later in the run, you're going to see them make another late run and probably try and short pit towards the end, pick up that valuable track position again. Passing so hard to do.
Well, it is. I mean, you see Daniel right there. He but just by looking at him, he looks like he is faster than Adam Gillian. Problem is, time-wise, I'm looking at the time. Adam ran a 32.175 to a 32.171. Even though he is faster, that's not fast enough to get around him. Fast enough to get to his door, maybe. But it's just, I mean, he's going to need tenths in order to just go, shooting on by him. And that's the problem with this track. A lot of these guys run very, very close to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daniel's still working over the back end there of Adam. Justin, he has dominated this race. Don't want to jinx him because we've seen Justin in this position many a times, and he's admitted to it himself. Gets out there, gets kind of comfortable sometimes, and then overdrives the car and makes what I always call a mental mistake. Tonight looks pretty good, though. He's got that thing on rails.
Yeah, he's managed to kind of keep about a half a second lead here over Adam Gill, and not really stretching it out, but maintaining it.
Yes, he is, and that's good. That's a lot different. Maybe, the difference we've seen him, and I always kind of associate Justin with wide open, lap after lap, and he said that before, and we've seen it in the past. Tonight, very, very calm, cool, and collective out front. Got that car just like he wants. He did battle earlier on with Anthony DeBarro, and unfortunately, Anthony's car falling off the pace, but Justin, he's been able to just maintain.
Yeah, and it's a good way to win the race here. He's coming lap 77 through here, so a good chunk of the race, over halfway done right now. Just kind of smooth and steady is the name of the game.
So far, everybody on the track has been definitely smooth. You see Anthony's moving up on the back end there. Brian Macklin. I'll see if he can't take that spot away. You got Nick Cohan right there all over the back end. Those three cars are just nose to tail. I mean, all over each other.
Yeah, and certainly trying to navigate lap traffic here as you see Adam Gilliland, Daniel Falkenkamp closing up a little bit on Justin Fuller, trying to get around that lap car.
And that's the thing. Justin has to be very careful going around lap traffic here. Looks like Anthony's going to make that pass on him. Going to bring Nick Cohan with him. Those two, I think, have locked up and are going to try to come through the field. But, yeah, Justin, here's where he's got to be very careful because you talk about danger around every corner. Well, that's definitely what can happen. Very easy to get in some trouble when you're going around lap traffic.
Yeah, and to the credit of all the lap cars that they've gone around, they've definitely given these leaders plenty of room as they've kind of, they understand that they just need to get up and out of the way here.
Good, that's some good sportsmanship right there, Jim. Week in and week out here. Guys, man, putting it on here for the Sim500 Transervice. Let's look through the manufacturers out here. Right now, Toyota's dominating the top spot with Justin Fuller. You got three of the Camaro Chevrolets right there behind him. And then it's a full course of Toyotas there. Fifth all the way back to ninth, and top running forward would be Nick Silver. Got looks like Brendan right there running in 11th, and Debbie another Toyota, another Ford. So a little bit of mix there, but man, I gotta admit, it looks like Toyota, the manufacturer-wise this season, Toyota has stepped up in it, and a lot of those drivers, again, I don't remember them being in it. Trey Edson, Anthony DeBarro comes to mind, and Justin Fuller come to mind, as I believe they were in Chevrolet, so I'm going to say them switching over to Toyota. Well, it might be the year for the Yoda.
Yeah, the Toyota teams have done a really good job of pulling over some tremendous talent to try and capture a manufacturer's title this year.
Oh, absolutely, and with that kind of heavy-hitting firepower that they've got out there, I mean, just the names that I mentioned, Justin Fuller, Trey Edson, Nick Cohan, Anthony Barrow, just in those names, and that's not even going through some of the other ones, but just in those, I mean, that's a lot there. You still can't count out guys like Adam Gillian, Daniel Falkenham with the Chevy crowd. Nick Silver right now is running up for the Ford camp right there so far. I've always said, though, unfortunately, the Sim500 has always been more for the Chevrolets, and I'll forgive him for it.
Yeah, it's definitely a Chevy heavy league, league owner, big Chevy guy himself. But we'll cut him a little bit of slack because he's an Alabama fan.
Yeah, I know. We will. We'll get with Joey Katina talking about him hitting back in the back. Not the night he wants. That back there in 30th spot. Good-looking machine back there, but does an outstanding job with a bunch of other guys here running here at the Sim500. He's running that Sim500 Motorsports team back there. Another one of his really like talking about this guy a lot sometimes. Brian Wortman. He's been up and down with health stuff and all, but the guy comes out here week in and week out, and he knows, hey, look, I'm not the most competitive out here, but he comes out here week in and week out to have fun, and he loves it. Just a good guy there, Brian Wortman. Back at 35th right now. He runs in the same team there with Joey Katina. They got a good team, and teams is another thing we're going to be talking about throughout this season because they got a team championship here.
Yeah, absolutely. Noticing a couple of cars starting heading down pit road, trying to make their last stops of the race.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the norm here. They went about, 42 laps, about 45 laps last time. Can they make it all the way on this one?
Absolutely. They can make it about 55. I think they can go an easy 60 laps. It's just usually the tires are going to give up on you well before then. And just not enough fuel to go to a halfway point.
I got you. Daniel Falkenham made the pass. actually on Adam, and actually brought Josh Parker along with him. I think they used and actually that brought Timothy Johnson up there too. So man, I don't know what's wrong with Adam. He's all of a sudden, that car's giving up just a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's got some damage on his hood. It looks like he might have gotten into the wall coming off of
I see that.
3 and 4 last time around, and it's amazing. That little bit of damage will cost you so much speed.
Just saw right there, we're riding along with it. You saw him go in there, and that car just pushed up the track. Could be starting to be really, really tight coming out of the turn. That's going to definitely hinder his performance in the turns right there. But you're right. Coming up here, it only takes just a little bit of tap to mess up the fenders. And for this being a 1.5 mile track, and as fast as this place is, I mean, these speeds are up into the 180s all the way around this place. So with them doing that kind of speed, definitely aerodynamics plays a factor here and will hurt it. And you can already see it. It's already hurting him. Falling back to fourth. Timothy Johnson right there trying to work him over.
Hit the wrong button there. Definitely not ideal for these guys.
Well, don't fall out your chair now.
Trying not to.
Good run so far amongst them all here. As, we're getting set here. We're at lap 89 here at Las Vegas for the Transervice Cup, presented by the Sim500 Race 2 of the season. Justin Fuller's been the main man out front for most of it all night long. He is dominating.
Yeah, you're seeing some Daniel Falkingham smoking the tires trying to get down on pit road here. As these guys are going to try and get a jump on him, maybe get the track position on him.
And that's the thing. You know, you mentioned it earlier. Very, very tough to get on pit road with these guys. So that's something they're going to have to be, mindful of when they go on pit road. Get the car woed all the way down.
Oh, Justin Fuller coming in. Woo, he's hot. I don't know if he got down to speed on that one. That's going to be close.
Justin Fuller?
Absolutely. He was smoking them all the way through the line.
Well, let's watch his pit stop here and see if he did get it woed down enough. Pulling it off and on into pit road. Stops. Definitely should be a 4-tire stop here. I would say if there's a caution later on, these guys might opt for some 2 tires, but he actually did get a penalty. We'll know here shortly.
It's certainly going to be close, but
he dropped it and went, so looked like he got it down. He had to be, like you said, right there on it, though. Really, really close.
Yeah, Nick Cohan going to get a too fast entering. He's serving his penalty right now. We talked about it. It's so hard to get on pit road here.
That's devastating. That's huge. I mean, that's huge on his end because actually he was up there, racing it out. And am I seeing this right? Adam Gillian blinking out of the circle.
Yeah, I've got him disconnecting at the moment. Another thing, keep an eye on Daniel Falkingham, successful in jumping Justin Fuller here. He is going to resume the race lead.
Wow. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Adam Gillian, one of the top machines, and yeah, he's dropping through the list. I still don't see him back. Wow. Talk about a turn of events here already.
Yeah, tough break. You get that little bit of damage, end up getting dropped out of the server. It's tough.
And, just anybody out there new, we're on a virtual world. Obviously, what's happening to him would be the same as blew the motor. Blew the motor. How's that? Engine in the car, or, mechanical issue or so forth. So I'll get the words out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. We're going to get a great battle for the lead here. Can Daniel Falkingham hold off Justin Fuller for the lead?
Well, we have seen it all night long that whoever gets out front in that clean air has been able to maintain. This track is synonymous for that. if you could get out front. Now Justin Fuller is pulling in, and remember earlier, Justin, he won't give up. He'll try to go for that lead, and he's already caught Daniel.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try and make short work out of him. Try not to burn off the tires too much.
Thing about it is, can Daniel hold him off? Man, Justin is just bad fast. Came out of the turn. They're going to run up on the lap car, and I think it's just going to help Justin, and it did. Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
Using him as a pick.
He did, and there was just nothing Daniel could do, and Justin Fuller takes back over the top spot. Man, Justin Fuller has a rocket ship tonight.
Absolutely. He's going to be one tough guy to beat, but Falkingham not going to let him go that easy. Going to get right back underneath him, going for the lead down the backstretch.
Just don't know if he's got the car to be able to get it done. I mean, Justin was able to run him down very fast, like he's got that outside lane. You can see him getting very close. I'm going to say it's probably going to take something close to maybe some door-to-door paint trading, or something's going to happen here in order to make a pass. I mean, obviously they want to make a pass clean, but that's going to be a tough one right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys, they're going to certainly wear it all out trying to hang on to that lead. Lap cars, ooh, that's close.
Man, if Daniel could have got to the inside of Justin right there, and I think he might have just gave him a little slack, and I understand the sportsmanship there, but I tell you what, though, that was a perfect opportunity for him to slam the door on Justin Fuller and get back around him. You do not want to give the slightest advantage there to Justin Fuller. And you can see them two guys, boy, are leaning on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be considered the race for the win here. These two pretty far and gone from third place. You know, what's going to shake out to be Josh Parker, just getting after it.
Well, Josh Parker's only 2.5 seconds behind. He is gaining. If they continue to battle like this, it won't take long, because now Josh Parker's 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds. Here you go. Here's where Daniel needs. If Daniel could have just held on to it, but I don't know. I got to. All right, here's the thing. If that's Justin Fuller down low, he wouldn't give an inch. Daniel's going to have to eventually say, okay, Justin's going to be very aggressive, and we know that. That's just his style. Daniel is going to have to, on one of those picks, on one of those lap cars, push the envelope a little bit on him.
Yeah, I think if Daniel can get to that inside and he can kind of hang there, that's his best opportunity to get around Justin Fuller.
We talk about Josh Parker. Josh Parker is down to 1.7 seconds. As long as they were battling side by side, he was making up ground. Now it looks like they're walking away a little bit, but Daniel now trying to fill it out here. I just got a feeling that Daniel's going to have to step up that game if he wants to get around Justin Fuller. It's hard to pass. It's hard to make the move. Justin's not going to make it easy. He's going to be very aggressive trying to hold on to that lead.
Now, as you see Falkingham searching around the track, going to get a good run down that backstretch, jump to the inside here in 3 and 4.
Again, side by side for the lead here. Just cannot get that bite coming off the turn. He can get it going in through the middle, but off. Now, if he gets on the top side one time, he might have the run that he needs.
Yeah, he's definitely doing some searching around the track here, trying to find that little bit of extra speed that he's going to need to pass him.
Yeah, he's going to fall back behind him. Let's see if he can't get those tires cooled down just a little bit. He's about a car length behind him right now. Justin Fuller still hanging on to that top spot. Nobody tonight has been able to do anything. Anthony Navarro earlier on battled with him for a while. Daniel here for a little bit. Justin has just had this place figured out so far.
Yeah, one of the things going to be interesting to keep an eye on, maybe about a half track ahead of him, is a 6-car pile up here. If they run up on those guys at the wrong time, that could really play a factor into this lead race.
But I have to keep that in mind and keeping a close eye on it here, because they will catch him for the end of the race. We'll just have to see what happens. Back here at about the 4th, 5th, 6th place spot, you actually have Trey Edson, Timothy Johnson, and Shane Ewing. Wow, what a bounce back. And Jose Gonzalez also, remember, they were way back in Martin traffic, but Shane up to 6th, Jose up to 7th. That's a good rebound for those guys.
Yeah, they've absolutely kind of played it right so far today, kept their noses out of trouble, and are going to get some really good finishes out of this.
Yes, it is. So good run amongst all those guys. But you see Shane getting passed by Jose and Anthony, but still right there, that's a slew of machines. And I got to love it. Who's up in 10th? Yeah, Twinkie Mobile.
Giving it all he's got.
Well, you know, he was way back, marred traffic early on, way back in the 20-some spot. And now he's up there in 11th, looking good, man. He's got all 8 Twinkies rolling up underneath the hood.
Leader's dealing with a little bit of lap traffic here, getting kind of stuck behind him as they're running up on this 5-car pack really fast.
Right now, you got Brian Macklin right there who passed him. Some good running here. Jose Gonzalez got a bad fast machine out there tonight. Lots of gaggle of machines right there low. And Anthony Navarro making it back up. He got around those cars and see what he can do. Nick Silver's in the mix there. All those guys are kind of nose to tail for the moment.
Both leaders getting clear of these 2 lap cars here, and going to get really interesting in about 15 laps when they catch this second pack.
Absolutely it will. And tell you what, it's still good race back here about 7th, 8th, and 9th. I mean, those guys are just all nose to tail.
Well, this is the point. Points are important now. You know, you really got to get that 1 extra point. You never know when it's going to matter.
Absolutely. Nick Silver out there running pretty good. He's up to 9th. Jose right there in the 8th place spot. They're going to go door to door, neck and neck with each other as they come to the line. And that was a close race right there between the two. Nick had him by just here inches. But you're right, up front, it's going to be interesting here. The thing about it is, though, Justin Fuller's far enough ahead of Daniel. I think when they catch that pack, that I think he's going to have time to modulate through it. The only thing that might hurt him is those guys are side by side up there.
Well, and all it takes is, you know, not being able to get in and out of the corner like you want to. Maybe having to feather that throttle a little bit. And if Daniel can roll through the corner and get out of it like he wants to, it's going to give him a heck of a run down one of these straightaways.
And it could bring Josh Parker up into the mix also when they go through that traffic. Josh, you know, yeah, he's about 2.6 seconds back, but he can make up that gap in a heartbeat, like you said, if those guys have to get up. Not only in this track, you know, hard to pass, it is about momentum too. You can lose a lot of momentum if you have to get out of the throttle.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now, Daniel Falkenham, he's got a lap machine right there trying to help push him around, but just not been able to close the gap in on Justin Fuller as they're closing in on a slew of lap machines. Back here and see what's happening with Jose Gonzalez, Brian Macklin, and them. Looks like they've broken up the party back there a little bit. Ed Coleman's moved up to the 13th place spot with Nelson Rivera back in the 14th spot behind them. Not having too bad of a night.
No, not at all.
Got a look here. Brendan here, the top running rookie tonight, has done an outstanding job of just maintaining where he's at.
Yeah, holding down a 7th place up from 16th where he started. A really, really solid run for him.
So far, so good amongst all these guys. Yeah, you're right. Running 7th. I'd say Tyler Overstreet. Hard back and next time Brendan would be. Look here, that would actually be Cody Green. Yep, Cody Green.
And if you're running Kohler, you're looking at a lot of positions there. Going to pick up a really big points gap in that, you know, rookie battle.
Yeah, Tyler Stevens, unfortunately, back in 41st position. Not sure what happened. He got marred way back. He was up front there for a while, but way off the pace.
Yeah, Justin Fuller just extending this lead in what's been a really, truly dominating performance tonight.
But on the clinic here at Las Vegas, I tell you, the guy came down here, gambled on it, and he is paying off huge tonight as Justin Fuller looks very, very calm, clean, and collective out there in that machine. Well, he's had the car to beat all night long, and my hat's off to him. He's kept the fenders on it, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know how tough that can be. You know, you just get one little scraping of the wall, and that's all she wrote for the night.
Absolutely, Dan. I will appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, you know who your favorite driver is out there? Like the racing so far, it's been pretty good. I mean, it's actually been entertaining. I don't want to jinx it. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, hit your head against the wall, whichever one, man, you like doing. But it's been caution-free so far.
Yeah, and you really want it to stay that way. For as exciting as these restarts are, cautions breed cautions at the end of these races.
Absolutely. Now, even though if there is one caution, we will have one attempt at a green-white checker. Keep that in mind if it does come down to that. But as of right now, my question is, I know we mentioned it earlier, all these guys, they should be good on fuel, tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Given kind of when they stopped, even if they stopped at lap 80, you know, plenty of fuel here. They'd be probably about 5 to 10 laps to the good.
There we go. Anthony Nabarro has been able to bounce back very well tonight. He's up to 6. He's been around Brendan right there for the 6th place spot. Brendan, the top running rookie here. Johnson's hanging on to 5th. Trey Edson's been very quiet all night long. He's got Timothy right there behind him, though, battling with him. But Trey's actually been very quiet. Right now he's in 4th, but Tim, it looks like he wants that spot.
Yeah, you know, you might as well go get it here. It's getting down to the wire, coming down to about 15 to go here. Lap 117, about 17 to go.
Yep, you're right. Get down to the, always like to say it, run what you run, and business is about to pick up front here. Justin Fuller, man, he is just, like you said, extending out that lead. He's got about a 1.2 second lead over Daniel Falkenham. Daniel just not, I mean, he's way off the pace. He's actually going to fall back into the clutches of Josh Parker if he keeps going.
Yeah, just not enough here to contend with Justin Fuller. If you're Fuller, you're putting this thing on cruise control right now, 1.5 second lead. You know, you're just trying to get this thing to the finish.
And one thing Justin probably does not want to see is a caution. He would love to probably see this thing go green all the way out. I know Daniel and him would love to get one more shot at him up front to see, because they're able to do something with him for a couple laps. Be interesting to see there. Jose Gonzalez hanging on to the 11th. Kevin Brown up to 10th. Tracking it in there, so actually looks pretty good. Brian Mackler up to 9th. Ed Cohen, Dwayne Vincent not having a bad night. He's up to 12th right now.
Yeah, a lot of these guys made a lot of moves throughout the race. Sean Costo, I believe I pronounced that correctly, started 38th.
Castro, but I guess it. Oh, you might be right on something
Yeah,
there.
started in
Casto,
38th all the way up to.
Is it Casto? It might be. You know what? I'd ask him one day.
Yeah, definitely going to have to. But 38th to 16th for him. Really good run.
Absolutely it is. Doug Roth right there having a very outstanding good run up to 16th. Right there along with him, Mike Motesi. There in the 18th place spot. Along with him, Randy Yoakum, Richard Beasley, Jody Green, one of the rookies here. Joey Catina's been able to make up some spots. Remember earlier on, he was a little further back, but he's up to 22nd right now. Chris Jaboo, Steve Goschak, Glenn Campbell, Gael Brooks back in the back here. You know, I think this is a tough place, and a lot of these guys, man, just not been able to make up ground. Once you get marred in traffic, it's back. I mean, look at Nick Cohan. Nick way back in 29th, and he's stuck.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things where a perfect race, but just speeding, coming onto pit road, you know, you get stuck a lap down, you're racing guys you weren't normally racing, and now the car, you just can't seem to make up ground anymore.
I'm going to say the one car probably that disappointing out of the race. We've still got 42 cars on the field. Adam Gillian, just devastating. Hit the wall just a little bit, not bad, kind of scraped it, enough to mess the fender up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, just problems out of the race tonight because they had a very fast machine up front all night long. But I tell you, that's just devastating on his end.
Yeah, it's a killer to go from really what was a second place run for you to 43rd. That's a lot of points lost just on a small mistake. And,
it compounds. I mean, we're early in the season. We're only in race 2 here of it. But, he missed last race. Again, here the new rule this season, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the new rule, because this wasn't in place last season. Win and you're in on the points this season in the chase.
Yeah, I believe that's how it works. So obviously, all of that goes away by putting that car out front and winning races like we know he's capable of doing.
Right, and that's why I bring that up, even though, the first 2 races, very devastating to him. He's got a lot of time still making it to the chase. And we say it that way because it was not in here last season. They did not have that. It was pretty much all points. I kind of like that a little better, but hey, either way, because to me, that means you've really got to come out here, drive week in and week out to get it done, because once you win a race, you're pretty safe. The rest of your season is kind of, well, let's experiment and do what we want. But, yeah, new thing here, win and you're in. But also, if you don't make the chase, there's still something to fight for from 17th on back, and something we'll get into throughout the season. Got a lot of prizes, a lot of sponsors here this season, a lot of great sponsors coming back on board. Obviously, Transervice, the main sponsor here. Our truck series has yet to even kick off yet. That kicks off the beginning of April, and Kick-Ass Beef Jerky is going to be on board for that one. As of right now, we've got Nemesis Lab K&N on Wednesday nights, but go to Sim500.com, folks. Check it out, because they got, a slew of other races that race pretty much every day of the week here at the Sim500.
Absolutely. And take your pick, too. Anything from the K&N cars to the truck series to Xfinity cars to Cup cars twice a week.
All right, I'm interested in one thing. They're coming up with a dirt series pretty soon.
Yeah, Nick Gohan really wanted to get that thing started, and he's kind of pioneered it for this league and get it set up. And, talk about a whole different ball game from what a lot of us here at Sim500 are used to.
Oh, absolutely. Dirt's fun side here. Well, look at this. We got a battle brewing for second place. Josh Parker has run down Daniel Falkingham here in the closing laps, because at another lap, we're going to have 5 to go here at Las Vegas. Wow, I mean, cross your fingers, Patrick, your toes, and everything else. Can we make this race caution-free?
I definitely think we can. I think there's a lot of guys right now that, even though they're racing for position here coming down to the end, we're talking about a long run, maybe don't quite have the speed to get up there and really get door-to-door with each other. I'm hoping it stays green. What a race it's been.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, either way, it has been an outstanding, unless we have about 10 cautions between the next 5 laps. Could be possible, but either way, it's been outstanding up to this point. And you see Josh Parker now pull up to the back end there, second place runner Daniel Falkingham, who just, I think, is, the tires are kind of getting worn out. Josh right now been able to run him down as Justin Fuller. Man, he's putting on a clinic out here tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're definitely going to want to pay attention. It's a playoff race when we come back here in the fall. And, a guy who is just so fast here, going to be looking to repeat that performance and lock himself into the next round of the playoffs.
There you go. And Justin Fuller, the way he feels tonight, definitely feel happy about it. If he puts it in victory lane here and hangs on, he'll be in that playoff scenario there, as we just see Josh Parker go on the outside of Daniel, taking on over the second place spot. Daniel right there in third. Timothy Johnson, I don't know that he has enough time to run Daniel down, unless Daniel just way falls off the pace, but keep an eye on it here.
Well, and the other thing, you're going to be looking at just a little too late. Josh Parker closing in on the leader, Justin Fuller, but just going to run out of time here with only about 4 laps to go.
Well, give or take, obviously, we're not over with it, and we have the green-white checkers until they take that white flag. If the caution flies, he could have one shot at him. But you're right. If it just stays green from this point on, not going to have enough time there, Josh Parker is, to run down Justin Fuller. I mean, Justin just all night long, creaming the crop. He's been the man out front.
Absolutely. And again, for him, a really comfortable 1.7 second lead. No need to really push it or get closer. Really even tempt hitting the wall and ruining this race.
Looking good so far as that man right there definitely out front in this one. Wow, Justin Fuller. Got a 1.5 seconds, so Josh is running him down, but just not going to have enough time to get to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably not full throttle on that thing. He's got it in cruise control right now. Just making sure he can bring this thing home in probably one of the more dominating performances we'll see in this series.
Oh, absolutely, and my hat's off because, we've seen Justin dominate a lot, especially like in the Truck Series last season. Dominate a lot, but again, put himself in bad positions week in and week out. So, and he's admitted to it before, be out front, next thing you know, overdrive the car. So, but tonight, he has definitely got that thing on rails.
Yeah, he's going to come through 3 and 4 here. He's going to take that white flag. You're looking to end this thing.
White flag, final time. Coming across the line here, Justin Fuller is going to win it in a dominating fashion. Josh Parker is going to hang on to second. Daniel Falkenham pulling it up in third. Man, I tell you what, you couldn't ask for no better of a dominating performance than that right there from a driver, Justin Fuller. Wow, that was huge for him to come out of here and, I guess, come out of retirement, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm going to see a heck of a smoke show down here on the front stretch after that one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask him here, is this officially out of retirement or is this just a one-off race? I mean, because, well, this here, as if he runs the whole series, puts him in the playoffs. But, you still do have to make a certain amount of races, so we'll just have to see.
Absolutely. And what a way. Green flag from, start to finish. Great race for this series.
Oh, absolutely, there. Well, let's bring up third place man, Daniel Falkenham. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Daniel, you got a copy?
Hey.
Well, you gave it a run with Justin there at the end. You think you maybe burned it up a little bit too much?
Well, I definitely tried that, so I did the 1 lap undercut to see if I could get ahead of him. And we did. And I think with the way we were side by side going off turn 2 one time, pretty much dead even, I think I could have possibly held him off. But then we were getting boxed in behind slow cars who were staying out, trying a long strategy. Pretty much like some races in a row for me where I try an alternate strategy and I get boxed in behind slow cars. But we definitely had to try something. Fuller was definitely class of the field tonight. He definitely deserved the win. So we definitely tried something there in pit strategy. It almost worked for us, but hey, we'll definitely take a podium finish considering I wasn't able to race last week. So we got good points to start the year.
Yeah, it was a great race for you. Kept the thing clean, started up front, stayed up front. Anything you think you could have done differently to maybe close in on him there at the end, or maybe hang on to second?
No, there was nothing. I definitely destroyed my right front at the end of the race, just trying to stay with Fuller, and definitely I was trying to battle him a few times. Just try to see if I can muster something up, but pretty much after he passed me, it was all said and done with. But I tried to give him a few more challenges, see if I could slow him up, but that wasn't the case, so I was just going as hard as I could, try to stay with him, and I burned off the right front especially, and he had, I think, 1 lap fresher tires than I did. So I definitely gave it all I had, and Josh, my teammate, he ended up catching to me, and he ended up getting around me, so then I was slow anyway, just because we were falling off on the right front. So Dave definitely gave it all I had, just wasn't quite enough at the end to maybe get a win or second place, but like I said, we'll take the podium finish, and we'll move on from here.
Yeah, any sponsors you want to thank before you get on out of here?
Yeah, I gotta thank First Rate Baylops 207 for all they do, for all their support. Also gotta thank Cameron Colby and Heatwave Design for painting this car for me. Also gotta thank you guys here for putting on the broadcast. Definitely gonna go back and watch it. Thanks to all the admins here at Sim500, put on a great league, seven nights a week. Also gotta thank everyone at Team Name for all the support. Definitely talking strategy throughout the races. Also got to thank everyone who watched the race tonight as well.
10-4, we'll catch you next week. Hopefully we can get that thing up front and get you a win.
We're gonna give it all we got, but appreciate it.
There you go, third place man, Daniel Falkenham. He did, like I said, an outstanding job to try to do what he can get here. Well, let's bring up second place guy, Josh Parker.
Hey Josh, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, came up one spot short. Looks like you were running him down there at the end, just ran out of time.
Yeah, it was kind of like last night, went caution free. I started somewhere in the 30s last night, and I don't know what happened in qualifying. I felt like I put really the lap down. It was super slow. I started 19th, so I had to use a little bit of pit strategy and tire saving, and I was just trying to run where everyone was, and it seems like the dirty air's really big on burning that right front up.
Yeah, anything you think you could have done a little bit differently to try and get up there and give Fuller a run for his money at the end?
Yeah, probably qualify better. I think that's the main thing. I started so far back, I had to burn my right front up to catch him on the first run, which ultimately I was hitting from a second back, so I lost their draft because of that coming out of the this first green flag pit stop. I was able to run him down. By the time I caught him in the second run, we were pitting again, so I think I ran a pretty solid race. The only thing I could have done was probably qualify a little better. But I mean, we're full throttle. There's really nothing else you can do.
Right, 10-4. Great race for you though. Again, starting back in the field, drove your way all the way up to a really solid second place finish. Anybody you want to thank before you get out of here tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone at Team Name. Best team name in the business. It's Chad Coleman, Richie Beasley, Falkenham worked with me really well there at the end. David Comstock didn't make the race, which is unfortunate, so big shout out to him. From you guys for broadcasting, Sim500 putting this on. Glenn Campbell, the sponsor, obviously wouldn't be here without him, so that's about it.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week at Auto Club, see if we can't put that thing out front and get you a win next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yo, second place man, Josh Parker. Well, this guy right here dominated all night long. Justin Fuller, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, brother.
Man, I tell you what, you put on a clinic. I've always said it in the past, you got one speed wide open, but tonight you showed that, man, you can do it all, and that was an awesome performance of putting it in victory lane here.
Yeah, thanks. First off, what a race to go flag to flag like that. I never expected that, especially with this car, and the fact that we can suck up so fast, and the closing rate's ridiculous. So, hats off to everybody for that. Had a hell of a race at the beginning of the race. I think DeBarro and I ran side by side for seemed like I think it was 15 laps or so. I finally was able to get by him, and that was the difference right there. Honestly, just being out front, having clean air all night, and it's clean air it's huge with these cars, and that's ultimately what helped me win this race.
You mentioned that battle what you had there with Anthony. It looks like his car fell off after that, but yours just kept going. Was it something maybe tire saving wise you was doing a little different?
No. So basically, we ran wide open side by side for 15 laps. However many laps it was, whoever got out front was probably gonna stay out front for quite some time. So that's why I knew that one of us were giving up. And once he got behind other cars, his tires were burned up too much, and he dropped like a rock. If I would have got behind him, the same thing would have happened. So. That's just the way it is with this car. It's your only opportunities to pass are on fresh tires. Other than that, it's really hard to pass because there's no downforce on the front of these cars when you get in the wake of another one.
Well, I tell you what, like I said, you had that thing on rails all night long, and it was an awesome performance. Now, I do got to ask this too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you changed manufacturers this year?
I did. A bunch of us have swapped to Toyotas. A couple of our teammates are sticking with Chevys, but some of us swapped to Toyotas, and a good way to start off the season is with the W with a Toyota.
Well, and I gotta ask, because we were talking about it, because I think Anthony was one of the ones too there that swapped over to the Toyota, and me and Patrick talked about it throughout the race. Is there a huge difference? We know the tire model, and this is pretty much the first really race here with the new tire model in the Cup that you guys in the series have been able to run. I know probably throughout the winter y'all been able to run it, but is there a big difference in the manufacturers that you can tell jumping from one to the other?
Well, first off, DeBarro and them, they've been running Toyotas forever. But no, every one of these cars is the same, just aesthetically they look different. So, there's different quirks about the cars. The insides look a little different, but other than that, the cars are all identical, so there's no difference.
Okay. Well, and the reason I brought that up is because I've heard some guys say that maybe even though they are fixed setups, that sometimes the car drives, one might drive a little tighter than the other, and so forth and so on. And again, it just looks like some guys out there might be struggling a little bit, changing from a different manufacturers, and we're seeing it throughout the field. But either way, man, like I said, you put on a clinic tonight, put it in victory lane. Got anybody you want to thank?
Well, to talk about that a little bit more, I led 103 laps here in the chase race last year in September and got the win, and that was in a Chevy. So, I don't think there's any difference. I mean, there could be. I could be wrong, but yeah, I want to thank Sim500, Joey Gattina, and all the admins for putting this on. I wasn't here last week because I was actually in Daytona, so this is race number 1 for me. So it's a good start to the season to get a W and dominate the way we did. I want to thank Transervice for sponsoring the series. I want to thank Sean Yoder with Nemesis Lab for sponsoring me in the series. He supported me all year last year. He's been a great sponsor, and I'm proud to represent him. Tim Corners Motorsports also is an associate sponsor. Trey Edson Designs for painting me some beautiful looking race cars. I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. I'm sure I'll watch it tomorrow at work. Thank all my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports, Adam, Trey, EJ who was in the grandstands today, Brian Macklin. Gonna thank our side teammates there, Kyle Taraska and Scott Stenzel as well. It's a great race, and looking forward to Auto Club next week, and see you all next week.
Well, I'll tell you what, one last thing. Now, there was some buzz in the off season about Justin Fuller retiring, because with this win, that puts you into the chase. Are you going to hold on throughout the season?
Yeah, I think my reason I wanted to retire, and I'm stepping back a lot. I'm going to run full-time Cup, but I'm not going to run full-time in all the other series. I'm going to run part-time. I ended up burning myself out. I ran so many races between Cup, Truck, and Xfinity. So I needed a break, so the wintertime was a good break. So we're back. Like I said, we're not going to run full-time and everything. We're going to run full-time Cup, though, so we're going for it.
Well, no doubt about it. What better way to start it off with a win here in the Transervice Cup Series at Las Vegas? Again, there, Justin Fuller. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
There you go, Justin Fuller. And Patrick, man, he said it, man, dominating. And, it's interesting. He spoke of the manufacturer there, a lot of them changing over, but he dominated last time he was here. He dominated here tonight. We come back to this place during the chase. Could be bad times for a lot of guys then, so we'll have to see. Got any final words?
Yeah, those guys are certainly going to have to find, a little bit extra here in the tank to try and get around him. Otherwise they're going to watch him drive away with this thing again here in the fall.
Well, with that said, we're going to leave Las Vegas, and I've always said it. What happens in Vegas stays here. What happened tonight, well, Justin Fuller definitely wants to bring it back when they come back here in the fall time. So, folks, for myself, Patrick, and everybody here at the Sim500, and the man out there, Justin Fuller, putting in victory lane, everyone, have a good night.